Fact. Even though the Army Nurse Corps was established at Fort Riley in 1901, no nurses were assigned there until 1917. First Lieutenant Elizabeth Harding became the first chief nurse. Fact. Fact. From 1906 to 1910, Fort Riley, Kansas struggled to complete a 3-story medical facility with several wings and annexes begun in 1888. But because of the history of the Calvary, they maintained an active veterinary practice. Fact. Fact. Progress was interrupted on September 13, 1907, when General Order 191 redesignated the Cavalry and Light Artillery School to the Mounted Service School, shifting the medical service to a lower priority, and the punitive campaign to pursue Pancho Villa in Mexico left only one medical officer on Fort Riley, Lieutenant John Hewitt, who served alone for an entire year from 1916 to 1917. Fact. Fact. With the onset of World War I, one of 4 medical officer training camps was established at Fort Riley, Kansas, which ran from June 1st, 1917 to February 4th, 1919, the longest running medical officer training camp during the war. In 1917, the German Army began using mustard gas, the most effective chemical weapon in the war, and the beginning of chemical warfare. It was only fatal in cases of extremely high exposure. Fact. Fact. On October 1st, 1918, Frederick L. Gates from the Rockefeller Institute on Fort Riley published a report on anti-meningitis vaccination and observations in the blood of chronic meningococcus carriers on a 3-week research project in which 3,700 volunteers were given a weekly injection in doses increasing from 2 million to 8 million cocci. Slight symptoms were observed in the subjects, and it was concluded that meningitis immunity was based upon the presence of antibodies in the subjects. Fact. Fact. Most historians of the Spanish flu, a highly infectious and lethal variant of influenza, and the worst pandemic in history, responsible for the deaths of up to 50 million people worldwide, believe that the first cases were reported on Fort Riley, Kansas. But the contagion, which later killed half the population of the city of Philadelphia, arising from a parade where community infection set in, which was responsible for killing half of the population of Philadelphia, and was responsible later for more deaths of soldiers in World War I than any other cause, has been speculated to have been caused by a zoonotic evolution, as a virus jumps species from birds or farm animals to humans. And that's the way it was. Fact. This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.